Hi everyone, my name is Roxana Ilie and I come from the city of Craiova, Romania, in Europe. And I'm happy to be here with you and to be able to share with you the miracle of poetry. And now I'm going to start reading my poems and I hope you will enjoy them. I answer slowly. The coagulation of the void above the head is an underground corridor where the shapeless gray stains get jammed into your ear with their eyes stuck to the glass. By pressing the orange blossoms, no heat is born. In the cold, a snake with concentric scales is stuck deep into your bones, into the footsteps on your palm, into the metal-stained thoughts. I answer slowly, with my hair stuck into a gray shapeless stain, a crack into the temporary blindness. We live at the 8th floor of the hospital, where the snow settles in reverse into the cracks of the skin, and the heat bursts the frozen shirt open. I answer slowly, starting from tomorrow, with my dry hair like a shadow. There is still place. The air inside is heavy like a wet shirt. You stretch out of fear of death on the doorstep, with your knees close to the roots, to the words, to aromatic herbs. I give up most of the times. The bonds with the light orb on the ceiling, the plaster scraps under my fingernails. I sit on a chair between two black sheets of paper, caught between two windows. There is still place for you not to pass by here. We stretch in the space. I could never tell if the birds fly underground, describe their water flight through piles of thoughts among animals with their open snouts, lurking on odd days, write about the old house with the crooked corners turned inside as far as you can go, passing by the dog with the wooden tongue. We stretch our arms in the space between the houses, where more is less, where there's nothing left to see, and you wonder if we remember to weave the air between us, confident that it's in the sand that seasons follow one another. And I stopped looking. I could never wake up in the morning, clench my teeth, breathe the air of the black sheep with her barren tongue, tasting like milk. I could never talk more than the intermittent people with their scuffed skin and their sleepless nights in the attic. Talk about disobedience, about splitting expressions, about breakfast, where we lay face down on the verge of the crack, just a short halt to catch our breaths. Nothing here. I walk barefoot with my blood, a black water, on the carpet where the darkness is tossed upside down. Its empty steps make life broader. From behind, the resilience seems dense. In unusual places, we will meet halfway and take different ways behind these walls where the bodies turn into dead time, stuck below the clothes that smell of lemon. Nothing gets dry here, not even the grounds in the flower pot, the unease of the raised dough. It's the feeling that where there's nothing left, there's still something left. I should write a poem. It smells of dirt, a sudden interruption of the lifeline. I regret not having told you until now about the more and more uncertain certainty that people share the same dead air, that the connections between the smaller words are getting weaker, that The imagination is no longer an unfinished room. It's no big deal, creating a corpulent space between the unworldliness of the simple things and the recurrence of the lost dawns. I'd write a primary poem where the snake would twist towards itself, but I know it would be impossible to handle a ruleless space warped towards the inside. It would be the taste snake. There is a taste snake that, having caught sight of you, will roll over 3 times in the sand and call you by the syllables of his name. It will screw its snake head right into your bones, and you will cover your skin with its skin. You will never find out that you've got a bone snake inside of you that used to be a taste snake. Beyond the fields. The world seemed dabbier as the souls which are glued together, as the hunger that bonded the tongues with one another, crossing them in all the cardinal points, as they did with the barefoot women from the cornfield, with the sickle in their hands and the straw bundle. They only turned the bucket towards the sun, thinking that the water hole cannot spot the callosities on the soles of their feet, their cracked heels, the dried earth on their calves, that the sweat on their thighs doesn't roll down, but up towards their dusty dresses or towards the lit up cigarette. Their calves, trembling under the heavy raindrops from the greenish rain, the women on the fields are women of the rain. They don't hide under the covered wagon where the barefoot children pour the horses' tails. They lay down in the hayloft with their dark eyes and hands. The interrupted air. The interrupted people belong to the full light that crosses them. They sit with their crossed legs, run from one door to another, sounding empty. The interrupted people sound empty. We take off their interrupted clothes with our spilling and filling mouths. We will not leave. They twist their barren fingers, cutting the interrupted air with their full words. The interrupted people are enough. As long as the silence. Yesterday, a dog crossed my path. A cord came out of his snout. As long as the silence of the barefoot and hasty people. No passerby noticed that the cord was hanging on their words, on their blood, on the yearning in their bones, on their rhythmless edges. The dog carried it further, barking at its own cord, as if at a bone that's turned its back on it. Over the second one. I count on the whitish darkness. It's gonna tell me when to step over that dead black dog with its tongue hanging out, and over that dead black sheep with the red tongue, and over that second dead black sheep with the white tongue, until reaching those dead black shoes with no tongue. Provisionally, all the women inside you. In the space in between, the respiration is a room with wax walls. The moment I pushed the words in the light or on the stair landing, late at night when the neighbor on the 4th floor made coffee for all the women inside of her, I too had women inside of me. The women, late and gray, withdrew inside of me. I could not fall asleep, kept thinking about the light orb on the stair landing with blue slow words. Don't move. Their image will blink inside of you as in a murky swamp. With saucer eyes, they'll stare at you and will die, turn and turn about. They will get tightened. Maybe tomorrow you won't know how to find that massive oak tree in the backyard, on which Grandma used to hang the laundry washed with domestic soap, out of grease, in which you kept rolling your barren fingernail, hoping that that's where all of your skins will gather, and all of your books sewed with thread from the silk casket on the bed settee. You will be hiding there a long time, leaving the moths to come out of the wool afghan, dirty and stitched under the roof of the mouth, where Grandma used to dip her black eyeliner. Grandma only had Sunday clothes. For the odd days when the carts passed by on the road, salt, salt, buy some salt, we have fish. I know you will place it in the attic, like a fetus, between the laundry, washed with domestic soap, smelling of shadow. Thank you.